South African youth, South Africa itself. Thank you so much for being the people that actually stood up against racism. Yet again, like, hi guys, it's yet another video by your girl. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I go by the name of Elizabeth Gunene, and from the topic you already know what we're about to cover, so let me not talk too much. Let's just get into it. If you do not know the backstory of the Clicks adverts, that's not all I'm going to talk about, but since you here, obviously you might not know what happened. So what happened is, on the 3rd or the 4th of September 2020, Clicks and Tresemme released a very racial slur message about how black people's hair actually look dry and damaged. So basically we're gonna break down how a lot of companies have been using a racism or racial slur to gain that momentum and to bring shock value. Okay, so if you can analyze it quite in a bigger spectrum, you realize that this is not new. This is not new advertisement. They have been using these type of advertisements since beginning of time. Okay, if you have to go and Google a brand called Auntie Jemima, you will realize what I'm talking about. If you have to go and look up blackface, you will realize what I'm talking about. Now in our own century, we're looking at things like H&M. I think a year ago, H&M had like a very racial undertone message that we're trying to take out, I guess. And then via ad, I don't know if you guys remember the Nivea ad of the lady that takes off her shirt and she turns white. And now it's the Clicks adverts. So these major brand actually uses racial slur to create like a shock value, and this is nothing new. So this year has been Black Lives Matter year. If you actually look at how big the movement became, in spite of the Clicks and Tresemme commercial, people need to understand that racism has been used as a constant tactic to justify, and all emotional aside, from a logical standpoint, accountability is something that is always needed. Tresemme and Clicks has taken accountability because Tresemme product will be or is already removed from all Clicks shops. I'm not really sure if it's true or not, but that is what I've been reading on the news. Okay, racial offensive ads have been made for years. Okay, from the infamous Feed a Child ad. I don't know if you guys actually remember back in like early 2000s, I think there used to be like these Feed a Child ad, and then the HIV ads. They always use black people. I don't know if you guys actually paid attention to those ads, but if you can just pause this and then go and find the Feed a Child ad, or like the HIV ads, you actually realize they only use black people for those adverts. Okay, then came the H&M ad where they used a black child wearing the sweater. You guys remember that. I'm not gonna explain it. If you don't, go back and go Google the H&M scandal. So these ads have been made for years. So racism, okay, using racism in a message or in an advert has been used for years, and it was like very undertones. People couldn't really see that this is actually racist, but like they have been doing it. Okay, and they know very well that they doing this because they want that shock value, that they want that exposure. Because if you guys actually realize, the whole week, people have been speaking about Clicks, Tresemme, Clicks, Tresemme, Clicks, Tresemme. What is that? That is called shock value. They actually use that. Okay, that is something that made them trend. They actually trended. Either you could trend for a good reason or a bad reason. A trend is a trend. Okay, so they use shock value and racism slur to actually be on the top of the trending list. Okay, and they know that they'll just come out here and apologize and say, yo, we sorry about what we did. We did not know that it was a racial ad. We don't know how it slipped. Which also tells you that your marketing team has very little black people, or you guys don't actually see racism. You guys are pretending like you don't know racism. In 2020, you know if you're being racist or you're not being racist. You know already in 2020, okay? Because my problem with this whole ads and using racism slur, why I say that your team means there's not enough black people in your team, or there's not enough people that actually realize they're being racist. Before an ad is released, there is a test audience. It's a strategy approved, and all companies approve this, okay? So that means there has to be a test audience with your adverts. It has to go through certain companies before it's approved. So for example, with the clicks ad, okay, Tresemme should have had a test audience. If they didn't, I wouldn't know, okay? But that's how I know. That's what I know about marketing. That's how everything goes. Like, there's a test audience before you even release anything. So, number one, Tresemme must have went through the test audience, and the test audience did not see any racial slur in it. Number two, Unilever. It went through Unilever, and it was okayed by Unilever. Number three, clicks. You telling me that all these three departments, no one actually picked up that this is actually being racist? I don't think so. This is like something that they just learned from the best. I mean, everybody else has done it and they apologize about it, so why can't we also do it, right? As I mentioned, all these three companies saw this advert and they didn't see anything wrong with it, because they knew they would just get on television, or they'll get on Twitter or on Facebook and just apologize, just offer a public apology. But when people were outraged, obviously that's the only time that they will like release an apology, if when people get outraged about their adverts. Then now they're like, oh, we're sorry about what happened, we don't know what happened, we don't know how did it get there, blah 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 blah. The organization, Tresemme was never going to remove their products. Tresemme was still going to sell their products regardless, okay? If we took that apology and we're like, you know what, everybody says it, they already apologized, it's cool, let's move on, Tresemme was actually going to continue selling their products. But thanks to clicks and thanks to all the noise that South Africans have been making, clicks was actually forced to take out all those Tresemme products. From what the news says, I don't know if it's true, but the news say they're gonna be removing all the Tresemme products, okay, from clicks. So this actually hit them where it hurts, because when you fuck up with someone's money, you know you got them exactly where you want them, because now it's huge, okay? This whole Tresemme and clicks advert, it is huge, okay? It is huge. And then obviously there was some public outcry. Of course, I do not condone violence. I actually don't at all. And I don't know how I actually feel about the whole EFF situation. I'm not a politician, so how they thought they resolving the issue, it's their way of resolving an issue. I mean, the country was taken out of toy, okay? People, we've been toying since 18 something, guys. We've been toying since forever. So I feel like that's the only way people actually feel like they can hear us, because even the hashtag Black Lives Matters, people had to go on a strike, okay? They had to go on a march, okay? People had to go looting shops, okay, for them to actually be heard. Now I don't know if people have been heard in America, because we still see cops killing black people, okay? But in South Africa, when that shit popped, okay, when EFF went to the shops and it was like, we closing down everything, okay, they heard it, okay? Clicks heard us, okay? So I have to say, I'm not really one to say like I'm okay with how they did it or I'm not okay with how they did it. For me, it's like something had to be done, okay? We come from a country that was ruled by apartheid for a very, very long time. So we know when people are being racist towards us, and we're not gonna sit back and pretend like we can't see it. So I think it is one of the only ways for people to actually realize, for racist people also to actually realize that you mess with the wrong crowd this time. You mess with the really wrong type of black people this time, okay? We know the type of black people that will sit back and wait for something to happen. we are the type of black people that got up and actually went and did something about it. So in all, what I'm trying to say is a lot of company has been using racism as an advert tactic. They know exactly what they're doing, and we cannot take apologies anymore, because enough is enough. We cannot let people be racist towards our own race. Another thing, I've seen certain memes. You'll see this. We are our own enemy of progress. Black people, we are our own enemy of progress. Okay, I've also seen some people cry about the fact that they get medicine from clicks. Why are people up and arm about just hair? The people that actually get medicine from clicks, I do feel sorry for people like that, because I know they come from a genuinely good place. I know they come from a genuinely concerning place because they get their medicine from the place. I honestly don't know what to say about that. I'm sure there are other chemists that you can go to and get the medicine, and if you can't, I truly do feel for you. I understand your anger towards this whole situation, but the people who come here and like, oh, since when is hair politics? I think you have a problem. To actually see as hair is a political standpoint, that was not it. They were not fighting because hair is a political standpoint, but we will not take racism. And if you cannot see that this advert was racist, you yourself are a racist person. You yourself have a problem. You yourself are actually the enemy of progress in the country. You yourself are a racist person, and that's about it. That's all I can say about people like that. In all, what I have to say about this whole saga is to be continued, because we actually don't know how far this is going to go. We're still waiting for Tresemme to say something, because they're here, they're pretending like, I don't know, they didn't do anything. They're pretending like they don't know that this is actually an advert from Tresemme. Clicks is just a shop that sells their product, and then they just made the mistake of not looking through, and not their marketing team didn't actually go through all of this. I don't know about it. Yo, this is hectic. This is like so hectic. So I'm saying it's like to be continued type of situation. Another thing is South African youth, South Africa itself. Thank you so much for being the people that actually stood up against racism. Yet again, like, you guys, I am so proud. Like, it's not even funny. I am so proud to be part of this generation of people. Like, you guys are actually making a change. Like, y'all don't actually know, but this was history in the making. So thank you so much for watching my channel, and that's about it, and that's all I have to say about it. Thank you so much for the support. I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.